Hello everybody, welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com. It's round 14 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. We're in Belgium for the MXGP of Flanders. On today's studio show we have Jed Beaton, he's already in here. We've got Mitch Evans coming in as well, and then Davide De Carli, the final guest. And obviously that's who our guest list is. And just in case you need any introduction or any reminders, don't they look fabulous? Well, look, before we catch up with our first guest, Lisa Leyland is with me right now as well. Lisa, good trip. I heard you left super early to get here on time for a whole day's worth of filming. How did it go on Thursday? Was it good?
Well, it went well. It went well. I was busy doing nothing.
Okay, cool.
But it is. I was really busy yesterday.
I
it's
heard.
like really busy here in Lommel. It's like really quite a good vibe this weekend, isn't it?
I heard doors open differently in Belgium. They don't open at all.
I thought you pull it. You pull it?
Yeah.
Usually when the handle's on the outside, you pull it, right?
Right. Okay. If you haven't seen it, go check out our Insta page. It's funny. Anyway, Jed Beaton, FNH Kawasaki Racing Team joins us. And Jed, good to see you, mate. First season in MXGP. Overall, I know there's obviously been a lot in between first round and here, but overall, how have you settled and, you know, with the transition from 250 to 450?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite difficult. Like you said, it's been an up and down season. It started off quite strong, and then I had a crash in Mantova, and then, yeah, hurt my shoulder quite a bit, and then, yeah, sort of a lot of things snowballed after that, and, yeah, it hasn't been as easy as what I would have liked, but no, I'm gelling with the 450. I like riding it a lot more than the 250. So, yeah, I just need to take a few steps in the right direction now, get the ball rolling again, and, yeah, get my season back on track, because I feel like I've missed a bit of it.
Well, going back to the beginning of the season, it seemed like you did enter MXGP, you hit the ground running, a couple of top 10 results, 6 overall. You would have taken that at the start of the year, wouldn't you, for your first appearance in MXGP?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I was stoked on that race, but, yeah, I mean, we had a good off-season, everything ran smoothly, so, yeah, I mean, I didn't go in there with any expectations or anything, just to ride as well as I could and, yeah, see what we come out of there with. But, yeah, I mean, it was quite a good result for me. So it was almost that it come a little bit too easy to me at that first race. And then, yeah, I obviously like that track a lot too. And, yeah, the rounds after obviously was a bit of a struggle and since the injury. So, yeah, like I said, just trying to get the ball back rolling again and see how we go.
Were you surprised, actually, from the performance? You know, were you kind of where you expected to be, or were you kind of expecting maybe 9-10 for your first time out?
Well, like I said, I didn't really have any expectations. Yeah. I just had a good off season and then was going there to see how we went, kind of thing. It was obviously the first year in 450's first race, so yeah, there was no expectations or anything. And yeah, I think also after that race too, I had more expectations of myself and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, it was a good way to start off, but obviously didn't keep it going. So, yeah, now I'm trying to turn it around. Yeah.
Well, you did mention Mantova round 2. Unfortunately, you got injured. After working so hard in what was really short winter, how frustrating was it for that to happen?
Obviously, it was very frustrating. I mean, like, as well as the first round went, I also felt good at the second round. It was just that I had that small crash and then I, yeah, smashed into the pole on the side of the track. It was, yeah, took a lot out of my shoulder and stuff, so, and it hasn't felt like unreal since. So yeah, it's how it goes though. I mean, you can't really change anything. It's the game we're in a little bit, and yeah, it's like I said a few times, it's just trying to turn it around and get back on the good way and then take it from there.
Well, looking back, you then raced the next 3 GPs, didn't you, before taking any time out? Do you wish you had taken time off sooner? Would that have made a difference, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was trying, but it was not getting any better at all. And then once I had the time off, it actually got time to get better. So, yeah, I mean, now looking back, it probably would have been smarter to take the time off earlier. But it was kind of a weird injury because I didn't exactly have pain or anything when I rode. It was just no strength. So, like, when I was riding during the week and stuff, I had no pain. I could still ride and then race, but it obviously just wasn't nowhere near as good or up to standard. And obviously, this class is a completely different class than MX2. So, yeah, it just shows that how tough the competition actually is.
We returned to action in Spain. How has it been trying to rebuild? Because we've seen glimpses of, you know, your former self, your MX2 self, if you like. And I suppose given more time, you know, that's the thing that's been missing, is it? Or
yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, like I said, it's a whole different thing that's happened this year. It's personally, I think I've been struggling a fair bit, but yeah, that's all part of life as well, and it's just come at a really bad time, I guess. So, yeah, it's just trying to get over that and get my whole life back on track as well, and then, yeah, hopefully the results will come from there. Obviously, last weekend was definitely one of my best races in a long time on the second moto, so, yeah, I mean, I'm starting to feel good again, and just, like I said, it came at a bit of a bad timing and with the injury and everything together, so, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season, try to do some good races and get back to my normal self.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned last weekend in Lockett, race 2, you looked like you were really enjoying your racing, were you? And do you think it actually makes a difference when you're well inside the top 10?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you get a good start and you're battling with the guys at the front, it's a completely different race than if you take a bad one and you're mid-pack. So, like I said, it's a very, very tough class, and if you start at the front and you can sort of run with the guys, it gives you that little bit more of a breather. And when you get mid-pack start, you kind of find yourself battling the whole race, even for like 15th place, 14th place. So, yeah, the field's really deep at the moment, and yeah, you can't afford to be a little bit switched off. So, like, it was fun.
Obviously here this weekend in Lomelwood, as they like to call it locally. The track's had a bit of a revamp. We're running in the opposite direction. I guess you've had a bit of a track walk. What are your first impressions? How do you think it'll ride, apart from its Lommel?
Yeah, I mean, it's always the same. It's going to be tough for everyone, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks a little bit more open this year, like some of the straights. Yeah, it's made a bit wider, and like the straights have got a bit more flat spots instead of like a dirt mound or something like that. So from the first impressions, it looks like it'll be a little bit more of a breathing room, but yeah, it is Lommel, so you never know what to expect.
Well, yeah, first thing this morning it looked mint. The 125s were hauling around there, but yeah, come later on today, that might be a different story. But you know, I know, we've all been there. But anyway, Jed, thanks for joining us. All the best, not just this weekend, but the next few races as well, to the rest of the season. And yeah, thanks for coming in on our studio show.
Thanks.
Our next guest is ready to meet us now, Mitch Evans. But before we catch up with Mitch, here's some highlights from MX2 Race 2 from the MXGP of Czech Republic 1 week ago.
Tom Vial, not feeling himself, he said a moment ago. In the first race, some problems with the bike, problems with himself. Said he wants to get a good start and see if he can play with the track a little bit this time around, and also pull back some of those points he lost in race 1. Remember, he started 4 points clear of Jargo Kiets at the start of the day. He's lost 9 points to the Belgian because he's now 5 behind the Yamaha man as we head into the final race of the day, 30 minutes plus 2, MX2 Race 2. A good jump over on the right-hand side. Once again, this time it's Jargo Kiets. Vial up the inside of him, though. But it's Jargo Kiets who crosses the stripe first. For the first time this year. Vial right there behind him. Just behind them, a little bit from grind, and riders then going down all over the place. Adamo's in there, and it all started with somebody just getting a nudge in that inside and somebody else coming in too hot. It's who leads. Vial is in second place. Looking to strike early here, that's exactly what he does. Door wide open, and the Frenchman through. Proper gloves off, this is between these two. Exactly what the fans want to see, both out front, both duking it out. Oh, I almost lost the front end there, though. And all of a sudden, Kiets, as he was a lap ago, within striking distance once more. And a purple final sector for Kiets by more than half a second, and there's the mistake. Vial runs wide, Kiets up the inside. Right now, the chaser becomes the chased. Jargo Kiets comes into land, and there's a back marker between him and Vial, crucially. And Vial gets into all kinds of bother. This was a mistake from Jargo Kiets a moment ago. Wow, manages just to stay up on two wheels. Oh, and Beniston is through. cuts across the left-hand side where it's a little bit smoother, and then he makes the pass just on the crest of Monster Energy Mountain, but he then has the inside line in the next turn, crucially. There's going to be one last push from the Red Bull KTM, the number 28, Vial. Final couple of corners. Here it's hanging on at the moment. Vial is running out of time. 2 turns to go. Downhill, the run to the finish line. Jago Geerts, Monster Energy, Yamaha wins, and that is a big win here in Loket, Czech Republic. And Jago Geerts jumps back to the top of the standings. Vial loses a position, and Langenfelder maintains that 3rd place.
And the winner of the Grand Prix of Czech Republic here in Loket is Jago Geerts. Please, I would like to ask and invite to the podium, team manager of the winner team, Mitch Evans. Big applause, really good care. Please, the winner, the winner. And now we are going to the finale. The third place is going to be awarded by Mr. Adam, mayor of the Loket, of this beautiful city in Czech Republic.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest is in now, Mitch Evans from Team HRC. And Mitch, great to see you, but I tell you what, it's been a while since we had you in here. I think it was Faenza 3. GP8 back in 2020. A lot's happened since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, certainly. Well, I mean, it's easy to forget about me when I didn't race for a year, so don't blame you for not having me in, mate.
No.
Nah. But yeah, good to be back, and yeah, just grateful to be back at the races as well.
There's obviously no substitute for racing, though, is it? You know, and obviously, how was it lining up again at Matchley Basin that first time? In at the deep end, what, 18 months off. Couldn't have been easy, but you needed to get that under your belt. Yeah,
absolutely. For sure it wasn't easy, but I think I was more riding with a lot of pain at that time, still in my wrist, you know, so I didn't really have many expectations, and I wasn't really enjoying riding because every day you go riding and you have so much pain, it's so hard to enjoy it, you know, so it was kind of just get through the weekend and see how we do and just keep building throughout the year, and like I said before, just be grateful and have a smile on my face to be back at the races, because there weren't too many days I was smiling back home watching the racing from the couch, you know.
Well, it seems like the past 3 or 4 rounds you found another gear, 7 races inside the top 10. You must be pleased with that, where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. We've made some really good steps with the bike in the last week. I took a little bit to understand it this year, and yeah, because we have a few new parts, so we made really good progress, and it just makes it easier for me to be able to ride the bike, and I'm starting to feel like more myself from like 2020, at the beginning of 2020, you know, even before my shoulder injury. So yeah, starting to feel a lot more comfortable, get more confident in starts too, you know, starting towards the top 5, because I start to believe that I should be there now. Yeah. And yeah, the process has taken longer than I would have liked, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest thing you've had to deal with this past year, and how have you used it to really motivate you to get back to where you want to be?
Oh, I mean, probably just the pain in my wrist, really. I still have pain when I ride now. It's, you know, at the beginning of the year, it was like it wasn't allowing me to do the normal training that I was doing. Yeah. And then once it started to get better, then I just got excited, you know, and I still wanted to do like too much. You know, I go to the track and be like, I want to do more, you know. So, but yeah, it's kind of just been really just trying to put everything together and be calm on race day, and learn that race feeling again, because you can go to the practice track and do as many laps as you want, but when you get to the race, the feeling's completely different, you know. swallow and roost in your mouth and, you know, dirt in your eyes and whatnot. So, yeah, just trying to enjoy every minute.
Yeah. All right, well, look, more from Mitch in just a moment. Just a quick reminder again, just about a competition. We've not ran this, actually, for a couple of weeks. Our Get Athena Rider of the Weekend and our Best Rider of the Year. This weekend, MXGP of Flanders, sponsored by Athena. How does it work, Lisa?
Well, to vote, a dedicated...
Okay, anyway, you can vote on Sunday.
I can't say it. Dedicated post will be shared on our Instagram page.
Are you sure about
every MXGP Sunday, where you, the fans, can vote for your favourite rider of the weekend. The competition is for MXGP riders only, and voting closes 8 p.m. Sunday night. So if you want to take part, look out for that Instagram post on Sunday.
Next question.
Dedicated.
Good.
Right, I said it.
I like your dedication.
Back to Mitch. Let's talk about Lockett last weekend.
Yeah.
6th, 7th for 7th overall. You must be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, it was not bad. I was quite disappointed in myself that I threw the anchor out pretty good in the second moto. I was 5th for most of the moto, you know, and then, yeah, just tongue was in the chain the last couple laps.
Yeah.
Blisters were hurting, you know, so it was difficult to hang on. But like I said, you know, every weekend there's been a lot of positives, so we just got to keep looking at them and keep building for the future. I mean, there's still 5 rounds left, so still plenty of opportunities.
And is that just now that you've, I guess, stepped it up a gear, you're pushing yourself a little bit harder, so the fitness that you had maybe a few rounds ago, whilst you're still working hard, stepping up to that level takes that little bit extra, and is that why the last couple of laps, you know, we saw last week and maybe the week before in Indonesia?
Yeah, I mean, in Indonesia I was really sick, you know, so I didn't eat all day, and then didn't eat for a couple of days after it. So that was kind of that issue, but yeah, definitely last weekend it's the first, both motos where I've started close to the top 5 and kind of been with them the whole time. And then, yeah, just, it was more just like the blisters in my hands, really, you know. I kind of just had no strength left at the end of the day when you come down big downhills like that with big braking bumps, you know. And with the lack of movement in my wrist, it's already quite difficult. So when you, can't hang on, but anyway, I'm just making excuses for myself here, you know. At the end of the day, I wasn't fit enough, but like I said, you know, the more you start at the front with those guys, the easier it becomes.
Sure. Well, obviously, here we are in Lommel, and unbelievably, you must be the only rider in the paddock this weekend that hasn't spun a lap around here.
Actually, I have. I came here the Thursday after the Germany GP, and it was completely flat. So, and it was the other direction, so at least I've been here. But, I mean, everybody says, you know, oh, Lommel, you know, it's a difficult race of the year, blah, blah. But, I mean, we ride sand enough during the week. I feel like it can't be too different. Yeah.
And obviously, you've had a look around. Track in the opposite direction, like what you see so far?
Yeah, it looks good.
Nice and flat at the moment.
Yeah. I was looking at, I just said to my brother before we walked in, I was like, man, I wish it would stay like this the whole weekend.
Yeah, you and everybody else, I think. But, Mitch, enjoy it. Enjoy this weekend. Enjoy the last few races. Good to have you back, and good to see you back in the studio show.
Perfect. Thanks for having me on.
Right, our final guest is getting ready to come in and join us in a moment, but let's see what happened. MXGP Race 2 from Czech Republic 1 week ago.
The MXGP of Czech Republic, we are here at Lockett. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time. See who leads the way. Maxime Renault second, Geiser quickly into third. He makes a mistake there, and he's going to be out-dragged here by Maxime Renault. Renault leads on the opening lap. and cuts back to the inside, goes high and wide, finds his way around the outside of Beaton and takes over that 7th place. And we're going to see another pass here around the outside, just like he did to Van Donnick. And it is a sweet move around the outside for Bogas as well. And he moves into 10th place. Mitch Evans goes on the defensive, closes down the door to the Spaniard, who is looking at picking back 5th place. And he does. A mistake on the exit of the turn for Mitch Evans allows Prado through. The Australian fighting back though. His 4th race win of the season. Maxime Renault wins the race, but Jeremy Seewer will take the overall win. He will win the Czech Grand Prix.
Well, it's amazing to be 3 out of 3 motos, you know, here having the interview. So super happy. Yeah, another GP win, you know. Amazing. Even though one small mistake too much this weekend in the opening lap, because I got 3 out of 3 whole shots this weekend. Yeah, Maxime got me and he rode a really good race, but still happy to keep team behind and gain some points and another overall. I mean, tomorrow is my birthday, so I couldn't make it any better. Thank you.
3rd overall this weekend at the MXGP of Czech Republic. Team HRC's Tim Geiser, a 2nd and a 3rd, but he maintains a healthy championship lead. Maxime Renault, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, 2nd overall, a 3rd and a win for him. Welcome back, Maxime. But it's his teammate Jeremy Seewer at Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP that wins with a 1st and a 2nd. Tim Geiser, 97 podiums now for the Slovenian.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our final part of our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest is in with us now, Davide De Carli, of course, co-team manager, assistant manager for Red Gas. Red Gas. Is there something in the water today? Red Bull.
Easy, yeah? It's easy.
Red Bull GasGas Factory Racing. We're in Belgium. I don't know what's going on. But Davide De Carli, thanks for joining us today. And I'm also dedicated, yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
One of those days.
Going on?
Should we do that again? Davide De Carli is with us today. Red Bull GasGas Factory Racing. Assistant manager. How are you? Good to see you.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Usually we're quite professional. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. But look, after 4 Italian GPs, we arrive here in Lommel. I guess it's kind of like a home GP for you because you have the Northern European workshop just down the road. You know, it's just down the road, isn't it? What, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 3-4 kilometers.
Yeah.
We have a big base also here in Belgium. Which is really good because here is the center of the motocross here in Belgium. So also on the logistics side, it's more easy to travel around Europe. And you have so many good tracks here and sand everywhere. So we usually come in the winter to do the prep. And before Lommel GP also we came a little bit before to ride in the sand, and yeah, it's a good opportunity to have a base here in Belgium. It's really important.
And for the team and the riders, because I know there is some Dutch and Belgian sponsors with the team as well, and obviously from Bench you get a lot of support and those guys. Yeah. Does it feel like there's a little bit of pressure like an Italian GP in some ways, or not really?
I mean, it's always a race, and of course you want to do good here in Lommel because it's important, no? To do good in Lommel. It's the Olympum from the motocross, so make a podium here or try to win is nice. Will be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about the season. Jorge is currently 3rd in the MXGP Championship standings with 9 podiums so far. It's actually his best MXGP season. Are you happy with how he's riding?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, we are making good results lately. Many podiums, like you said. He's a winning guy for sure. If he didn't have the injury before Majora, will be for sure fighting for the title with him. I'm happy. I mean, the results are going well. Many all shot, many podiums, fastest lap. We will improve for next year for sure to be on the top of the box. But yeah, I'm really happy how the championship is going.
Yeah.
Well, he has just one GP victory in Portugal. Before the start of the season, what was your goal? What were the team's goals for Jorge?
Yeah, you could see a really strong beginning of the season. In Metterley, win second moto. Then we come to Portugal, he win his first GP. From there, everything should be right. But then, unfortunately, in the training, he had problem with the shoulder. It was injury, so he need to skip Majora. Lose a lot of points, and then everything starts from there. You know, when you go back on the bike, you are not 100% fit again, and yeah, but at the moment he's doing good.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
And obviously this weekend we're in Lommel. Jorge has 4 Grand Prix victories, the most of anybody.
I didn't know, actually.
Yeah, Tony has 3, Jeffrey has 3, Tim has 3.
Yeah.
So from that side, you know, the best rider to have raced around here in that respect.
Yeah.
But is he confident? Are you confident that he can also win again here, make it number 5?
Jorge has so much talent that sometimes, like in Riola, when he go in Riola, nobody expected him so strong. So he came here 1 week before, 2 weeks already before Loket. He was 1 week here training and already prepared for this race. He liked the sand.
Yeah.
He liked the sand. He's a good sand rider. So we will see. He will try to win for sure.
Sure.
Okay, well, moving on to Mattia.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, we all saw him move up to the MXGP class. Was that a difficult decision for the team to make or not?
No, it was not a difficult decision because already last year, in the end of last year, we spoke with him and we asked, hey, Mattia, what do you want to do for next year? We move on 450 class, and then he said, for next year, I want to try to win the title, at least to fight for the title. Okay, then we start this season. Sometimes the things are not going like you really plan. Some mistakes from him, but also bad luck.
Yeah, France.
Yeah. So yeah, we decide all together, also with the KTM group, to change category on the 450 bike, and for the moment he looks good on the bike.
And actually 4 times he's finished inside the top 10 overall. Is this kind of what you expected, or is it better than you expected coming in the middle of the season during MXGP?
I expected to him because for me this guy have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I mean, start this year half season, it's already good for next year.
Yeah.
Because next year he already know what he's gonna do.
Sure.
You know, he's more prepared.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Simon Langenfelder, 3rd in MX2 at the moment. He's really showing that he's a star of the future, isn't he? Especially with that win in England in the first round.
Yeah, with Simon, I mean, we choose together with KTM. That's maybe Simon was the right choice because he's a young guy and so talented for me. He came with us and we make a good program together. He came in England and for sure everyone was so surprised.
Qualifying race win, first race win, second race win, first GP victory.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. So hard work always pays off because he's a hard worker. And yeah, we for next year I think he's gonna be one of the top 3 again. But for sure we will try to fight for the title with him.
With Jorge, when you said, yeah, he started off strong and he had that GP when he had a race win here, and then he had the shoulder problem, and then it put him back a little. With Simon, do you think winning the way that he did in Matterley, everything came too soon? It's almost like if he was on the podium, it would have been good enough. If he won like the 2nd or 3rd GP, maybe we would have seen that consistency, because after this win, we just saw him drop off the radar a little bit, and then now he's finding that consistency again.
Yeah, I mean, strong winter for him. Then he came to Matterley, was really, really strong. He shows up that he could win. For sure, yeah, winning like this, first moto and second moto for him maybe was kind of, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then small injuries for him.
Yeah.
On the thumb, a little bit, some crash.
Mantabury crash as well.
He crashed after the start in the right corner, and then somebody rode on him.
Yeah.
But it showed also that second model was really fast.
Yeah. And he is coming back, but and it's good to see him on the podium.
And lately he's coming back on the podium, back the feeling. For sure, also Tom and Iago have a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
So when they see Simon that he was winning, for sure they push a little bit more because they have inside, all the work from last year and the year before. So.
Cool. Well, look, we are out of time, unfortunately. Davide De Carli, thanks for joining us, and all the best for the next few races.
Thank you both. Thank you, Lisa.
Just a quick reminder what we've got coming up. We're back live today, late today actually, 3:25, EMX 125 first race, and then we've got the qualifying races, MX2, MXGP, before we round out with EMX 250 first race, and then of course we're back tomorrow morning as well, nice and early for all the action. So keep it here, MXGPTV.com throughout the weekend. We'll be back in 2 weeks in Sweden. We'll see you then.